This is the exact blueprint that I have followed to get to 400,000 so far this year. What's up guys, Arie here. Welcome back to another video. Now this one is gonna be extremely value packed. I am updating the free Shopify blueprint to get to $1,000 a day. Now I did make a similar video in the past, but this is an updated one. It's been about 3 months since I made that video, so I figured it's time to update it for the family out here. Now, of course, this one's gonna be very value-packed, like I mentioned, full of value bombs, so make sure that you stay all the way till the end. And if you do get value, make sure you subscribe and join the family. We're growing extremely fast. Now, I don't wanna waste any of your time, so let's just hop right into the computer right now. Let's go. Alright guys, we are in my computer. Now of course, before I begin, I do want to make sure that you stay all the way till the end of this video. Now this one is going to be extremely value packed, so you don't want to miss a single bit of it. And also, if you do get any value from this video, I do want to make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You want to join the family. I'm dropping value bombs almost every single day. The family has been growing very, very quickly. We're at over 10,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So of course, the first thing that you have to do when starting a Shopify store is, well, it's to start a Shopify store. So of course, when starting a store, you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the free trial. There's no reason why you shouldn't start your store with the free trial. Of course, we're trying to minimize cost as much as possible, so make sure that you start your store with the trial. So now let me show you an example of one of my stores that's actually doing very, very well. So we started this store in about April, so it's been about 60 days since starting this store. Now, you guys, if you've been part of the family for a long time, then you know that we started this store on the YouTube channel and showcased it and documented it pretty deeply. So make sure that if you're new, you go follow those videos, you go watch them. But this store is very, very well designed now. Now, the cool thing about it is, of course, we are only selling this one product and only advertising this, which is pretty insane, and it has generated over $50,000. But this is a store that is a great example of a store that is very well designed. Now, when starting your store, of course, you want to make sure that you pick a niche or a general store. So now a niche store, there are advantages and disadvantages of both, but my preference is to start somewhere in between a niche general store. That's kind of what I like to call it. And an example of that would be, for example, a health and beauty store, for example, where you are not just selling fitness stuff, you're not just selling fashion, you're not just selling beauty stuff, you're selling all of those things. And those are the best types of stores to start in 2018. General stores can typically work, but the thing is, it's much harder to brand and much harder to take advantage of the back end of your business when you're starting a general store. So I would recommend you start somewhere in between. Now, of course, after you create your store and after you decide on which type of store you want to make, you want to get a logo made. Now, there are free ways to do this, such as using Canva, but I would recommend you just go out there on Fiverr and pretty much pay $5 to $15 to get a nice, well-designed logo. That's gonna be very worthwhile. It's not absolutely crucial, but it is a step that you should take if you have the time and money. So like I said, guys, make sure the site looks very, very clean. These are things that a lot of people overlook, but you absolutely must have a frequently asked questions page, a shipping and delivery page, tracking page, and a contact us page. Now, of course, along with those things, you want to make sure that the colors on your store make sense. I've seen a lot of stores in the past where people have, like purple here, blue over here, and like red over there, and it just looks very off-putting. It just doesn't go well together. So make sure that it looks very aesthetically pleasing. Make sure you get other people's opinions around you if you're not a good judge yourself. But yeah, that's gonna help you a lot. Now, of course, once you're done with that, the most crucial apps you're gonna need are Overload, an email collector, but that one's a little bit optional at the beginning, because in my opinion, you should not have any sort of pop-ups at the very beginning, especially when you're testing to find your winners. Now, email collecting is very, very important, so I don't think you should completely neglect it. I just think whenever finding a product, you want to make sure there's nothing wrong with your store. There's no way that a customer would leave unless they just simply didn't like the product. And after that, you're gonna also need a currency converter, because my Facebook ad strategy, and even with Instagram influencers, involves targeting worldwide, or a lot of other countries that don't necessarily follow or have the US dollar as their main currency. Now my recommendation is the Coin app because it automatically converts your customers' conversion to their local currency, which is in my opinion very awesome, and it of course boosts your conversion rates a lot. Now another optional app is going to be Hurify. What it does is essentially it puts up a countdown timer. Now the main reason why I don't use it is because I personally think it doesn't look very clean. As you can see, let me show you my product page. My product page looks very clean. So there's no countdown timers of any kind. There's just bullet points, you know, a guaranteed satisfaction right off the bat so the customer knows that they can trust my site. And then of course a video of me just showcasing the product itself, which I ordered off Amazon and then created the video myself. Now these are all great things, but now the last, you know, one of the most important one of the most important apps as well is gonna be the Looks or Arie Reviews app. The reason why is because you need to make sure you have reviews. Now this is what the Looks app looks like on your store. No pun intended, but it looks very clean, and this is why I choose it over Arie Reviews. But Arie Reviews is much cheaper, so you know, I would consider that one if you don't have the funds to afford Looks. Now after that, of course, you're gonna need the Frequently Bought Together app or any other upsell app. The reason why I like the Frequently Bought Together app though is because it's the cheapest, simplest upsell app there is. And then another app that you should look to get is Quantity Breaks. I didn't include this one in here because that one is also like $20 a month. So the costs do start adding up very quickly, which is why I didn't include it. I don't find it absolutely necessary at the beginning. It's more of an app that you should use when scaling. And if you want to know what that one looks like, it just looks like this right here. It pulls up a chart like this where they can buy in bulk to get it for cheaper. Now the last app you're gonna need is Recart. Now of course this one is also optional. You can just make do with MailChimp for abandoned cart emails, but Recart also sends messenger emails, or messenger abandoned cart messages, which are very effective, but it is $29 a month, so this is why I consider it an optional app. Now, of course, with these things, you're also gonna need a Facebook Business Manager or Instagram page if you wanna run any sort of paid ads. So make sure that you go watch some of my older videos where I actually go step by step on how you can set up your Pixel and your Facebook Business Manager, as well as create an Instagram page. These are very basic things. I hope you already have those done, but if you don't, you can just watch those videos and get it done very quickly. Now that you have your store ready, we're moving on to the testing phase. Now, do some product research. This is gonna be one of the most important things. And of course, it's easier said than done, but at the end of the day, it's more important that you just keep moving forward quickly rather than taking way too long at every little aspect of your store to make sure that everything is too perfect. That's actually gonna be counterintuitive towards your progress. So make sure that you kind of move fast, but also be mindful of what you're doing. So some great places to find products are gonna be the Facebook search bar, Amazon bestsellers, eBay bestsellers, Thieve.co, which is a free website, the Shopify Exchange. That's a great way to find other Shopify websites and see what they're selling. You know, Commerce Inspector is a Google Chrome extension. It's also gonna help you, and it's free. And then one of my favorites, which is Dropship Spy. It's a software, it's about $20 a month, very cheap, and what it does is it shows you a lot of winning products that are currently winners and older winners. But it doesn't just do that, it has a lot of other amazing features that I consider really helpful. So that is why it's my favorite out of these, but of course, you should be using every single one of these. Don't narrow down your product research to only one method, because that is how you're gonna stay ahead of the competition. So once you do this, import about 10 to 15 products to your store, and out of those, you're gonna wanna pick 3 to 5 that you're absolutely sure you wanna test. Now, once you do that, make sure you make the best possible product descriptions for them. Now, like I said, I go very hard at the product description, which is why I only recommend you only do a few products at a time, because it is gonna take a while to make a product description very good. Now, the way that I do it is actually by going on sites like Amazon or other big retailers that sell the same product and essentially copying what they're doing and making it my own. Now, like I have in this blueprint, make sure you don't skimp out on your product description. You want to make sure that you make it the best possible product description. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting a lot of money. Now, of course, once you're getting ready to test, you have to make sure you make a video. I would consider it a must. Now, if you can't find videos of your product that you can edit together, you can just make a slideshow video with software like Animoto or iMovie, whatever it is. Find some free ones. You could probably just do a Google search so that you can make a slideshow video, but you absolutely must have a video. Now, like I have written here, I do recommend that if you have a very low budget, which is under $500 to just fully spend, that you start with Instagram influencer shoutouts. Now, it's very easy to find influencers, so I'm not gonna cover it in this video, but I will link some of my other Instagram influencer strategies that I've used in the past in case you do wanna follow that route. Now, there are also ways to get sales without any paid ads. It's very slow, but I do recommend it for people who absolutely have a tiny budget. And I will link that video as well in the description. But Facebook is gonna be the platform that, my preferred platform as far as paid advertising goes. It's the one I've had the most success with, and of course it's the most long-term one and the more scalable one. So like I said, for Instagram, you're just gonna essentially buy shoutouts from pages that have over 100,000 followers, and yeah, it shouldn't cost you too much money. Make sure you negotiate with them. It's actually very simple, but when it comes to Facebook ads, it gets a little more complicated. You have to know the platform a little bit, but just to put it in basic terms, what you're gonna wanna do is create a conversions campaign. I know some people start with pay-per engagement or traffic campaigns, but I always start with conversions campaigns. Now, in these campaigns, what we're gonna wanna do is optimize for purchases, even if you have a new pixel. The reason why is because Facebook has said it themselves. You have to optimize for whatever end goal conversion you want. Now, of course, we're gonna wanna target worldwide for these. You could target specific countries, but the reason why I don't do that is because it drives your costs way up, and this way we're not narrowing ourselves down to only one country, and we actually can find customers all over the world. Now, of course, this worldwide strategy doesn't sometimes gets you a lot of low quality traffic, so if you don't wanna do this, you can also just find all of the e-packet countries or just the best or all the tier 1 countries that you can think of and only target those. But I always go with worldwide targeting nowadays because it's much quicker and it's just very efficient. Now, for the interest, when it comes to the interest in each ad set, you're gonna wanna do one interest, and each interest is just gonna be narrowed down by the engaged shopper behavior. Now, I do have multiple videos on YouTube for free of me making ad sets live, so make sure you go and click and check out the links in the description so that you can find those videos, so that this video doesn't end up being too long. So like I said, you wanna make 10 of these ad sets, and then each one you're gonna wanna do a separate interest. This is very important because that way we're gonna see which audience is the one that's actually holding all of our customers. Now, for the audience sizes, it has to be above 500,000. Now, I wouldn't necessarily put a cap on the maximum amount of people you should have in an audience, mainly because it really does not matter. It just matters more to have the audience be relevant to what your product is. So don't worry about an audience being too broad. That is not a thing anymore. The Facebook algorithm has become very smart over the past year and even past few months. So this is what is working right now. I know in the past people have done very narrowed down and detailed ad sets, but that is not the way to go anymore. Trust me, I'm seeing very good success as I showed you with this strategy, so you definitely wanna make sure you follow it. Now, once you do that, of course, you're gonna find a few of those ad sets that are winners, that are making you sales and that are profitable. The ones that don't make you sales, you wanna make sure you cut whenever they reach your profit margin, okay? So let's just say your profit margin of the product is $15. You wanna make sure that each ad set here, runs until it spends $15. So I recommend that you start, let me write this down in here. Start all ad sets at $5 a day. And the reason why I start at $5 a day is because then I can make more and more ad sets at the beginning. So like I said, a minimum of 10 for testing, but you can make way more than that. In fact, the way I start my new products is usually with 20 and above. That way I can I can cover a lot of different marketing angles, and I can find those winning angles right away. Of course, if you want quicker results, you can just start at $10 or $15 a day or even $20 a day. Just make sure that you're cutting your ad sets as soon as it reaches your profit margin. That's very, very important. Now, of course, if you did find those ad sets, let's just say 4 of those got you sales below your profit margin and the rest did not, you cut the rest, you stay with the winners, and now it's time to scale, which is the most exciting time, of course. So for Instagram, if you're doing all Instagram influencers, the way to scale is really to just buy bigger shout outs from bigger influencers and perhaps even stack shout outs. The reason why I say controversial here is because if you do stack shout outs, which is buying multiple shout outs from different pages at the same time, the reason why that's not necessarily good is because then you don't know where your results actually came from. But on Facebook, the way we're gonna scale is actually very simple. It's just gonna be by duplicating. Once you find your winning ad sets, all we have to do is duplicate them at double the budget. It's very, very simple, but when we do that, it's very important to not turn off the original ad sets, okay? The way you wanna think of your ad sets is each one is out there working for you. Each one is a worker going out there, a salesman out there getting you sales. So you don't want to turn any of them off unless they are performing very, very badly. Now, once you keep duplicating, you keep gathering a bigger army of ad sets that are making you money, you're gonna wanna start doing lookalike audiences. So I don't wanna get too far into lookalike audiences because it does get a little bit complicated, but I will link in the description all of the videos that I have made in terms of retargeting, lookalike audiences, just advanced scaling overall. So you can just check those out, they're absolutely free. And then of course, another thing that you're gonna wanna do is create a ClickFunnels for your winning products. Now, if you don't know how to create a ClickFunnels, just make sure you follow that link there. There's a lot, ClickFunnels offers a lot of interactive tutorials that, I have used myself to learn how to create funnels. It's very simple, so just go ahead and do that. That is it for this video. I don't want it to get too long because I know that a lot of people have a hard time engaging with a video, so this is where I'm gonna end it. Now, of course, this is the strategy that I follow on every single store, so just make sure you go rewatch this video, download the blueprint, use it yourself, and trust me, you will see results just as others have. Now, of course, like I said, if you did get value out of this video, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That is all I ask for. And if you do, I want to welcome you to the family. Of course, we're growing so fast and the value is only getting better and better. So it's a very exciting time to be a part of the family. That's pretty much all I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.